Hey guys, it's me, Cosmic Stardust. This is my Galaga arcade cabinet, and I originally purchased this back in October, and I've made some enhancements to the control panel, upgraded the fire button and the joystick, and finally got one of the actual risers, so now I can play comfortably standing up or sit on this nice bar stool which I got from Richardson Seating from Amazon. It cost about 50 something bucks. And up here we have a Galaga arcade sign. I purchased this at Hobby Lobby. I think it makes a nice touch over the Galaga machine. You can tell I'm a real Galaga fanboy. Anyway, I will run the rest of the video, the details of my mods, and give you my final thoughts. Thanks for watching. Hey guys, I just wanted to make a quick mention about the underbelly of the control panel. And as you can see, this just fits, the cover just fits over it nice and neatly. There are no security stickers anywhere on the screw hubs, so you don't have to worry too much about violating your warranty by placing a button or a joystick. The speaker's pretty good. The loudness is definitely adequate, and it's a nice size, so it definitely reproduces the full range of the arcade game. It's not like we're actually going for a hi-fi sound or anything, but that's good, so I'm going to leave that alone. Here you have the IDE-like port where the ribbon cable pops in, and I went ahead and these were the stock switches that came with the arcade unit. They're kind of ratty. As I get these Suzo Hap arcade switches with the standard plungers with the 20-gram zippy micro switch. It's much more responsive, I think, than this one. Anyway, there's a lot, if you notice, if I push this in, there's a lot more travel before it actuates than this, and it's also 20 grams are much more silent, less actuation pressure, which means less finger fatigue for long gaming sessions. The joystick has a slot that restricts it to a two-way movement, and as we can see up here, there's not even any not even any switches present for up and down, and if there were, they would go right here and plug in. So as far as Galaxian, since they're only two-way joysticks, it's not too much slop on the joystick. It feels good as is, so I'm not going to bother modifying it. I would say this though, this is a square restrictor plate, so if you are getting the Pac-Man version of the cabinet, I would recommend swapping out the joystick, and these are standard mounting screws. I would recommend swapping it out for a true four-way joystick with the clover pattern if you're getting it for the Pac-Man or any four-way arcade game, because you don't want eight-way action for a for Pac-Man. But since this is only two-way and it only moves left and right, the stock joystick is fine for the Galaga cab, so I'm going to leave this alone. I'm happy with it. And so now put this cover back on now that I've soldered in the switch. And so we'll screw this down and get this put back inside the cabinet. Thank you for watching. Hey, so here's the ribbon cable after we have now put these screws back in. So all we have to do is reach around, plug this back into the IDE port like so, flip this over, and drop this down, put our screws in, and bada bang, bada boom, we're back in business and ready to game. Hey guys, just wanted to show you, I completely stripped the arcade panel because I noticed that after playing for on and off for a couple of weeks, started to develop some little speckles in the little white spots, like you can see right here and over here in the finish, and that's just from my hands rubbing on the thing. So got a little bit of Minwax fast drawing clear gloss polyurethane, and I painted over it, and only problem was the surface that I left it sit on to dry wasn't completely level, so it puddled up a little bit right here, and not really sure what I'm going to do with that, but I guess just leave it right as it's hard, it's glossy, and if the poly ever gets scratched or damaged, I can always just paint another coating over it, and it'll be good as new, and it'll protect the ink underneath. And so flipping this over, notice that the speaker, and you see these little drops of glue adhesive, and actually that's runoff from the poly right there. But I'm over here like in the joystick, and so in order to disassemble everything, you're gonna have to pry some of that off. For the joystick itself, simple tap on the hammer will release the glue on the bottom. The adhesive is not very strong. I'm going to go ahead and replace this joystick with a proper stick, and then I'm going to put it back together because I don't like the idea of using the using this cutout as a restrictor. So I'm going to get like an actual real stick and get it all back together, and then maybe show you some gameplay or something. Yeah. So this is the old stick that came in the box, and as you can see, there is on this side and this side we've got the little micro switches, but there's nothing on the top and the bottom. So I'm going to be replacing it with this, a Paradise Arcade stick, which you can get over at paradisearcadeshop.com. I'm going to set this restrictor up to use this little restrictor plate. I'm hoping I can get it to go left and right, because it's going to be, this is how it's going to be oriented. We'll see about that. In the meantime, I'll go ahead and get this assembled up and see how it does. So after closer examination of my Paradise Arcade stick, I realized this really isn't going to work in the box. If I try to line the screw holes up, notice it doesn't quite fit. They're too vertical distance between the holes is not large enough. And also this for the two-way restrictor option, the way the holes line up, it'll only work with the restrictor plate mounted in the same direction as the stick. So like I could glue it in this position right here, but there would be no screw holes to mount it in place, so I'd have to use glue. And the shaft is a little too thick, so this is a 10mm shaft. I believe the other one has the stock stick has a 9mm shaft, so it rub against the hole. So kudos to Arcade 1-Up for not using standard mounting hardware and making it more difficult to replace the components later. Okay, so I've widened the hole a little bit with the router, and I put 4 little 32nd inch pilot holes, about a 1/4 inch deep, on the back of the panel. And so now looks like I will be ready to install the Paradise stick. Wish me luck. Yeah, so I got the Paradise stick installed in place, and I didn't realize this until after I had drilled the pilot holes. This assembly right here, if you take these 4 screws out, can be rotated, so you actually can have the two-way go in either direction, but regardless of the orientation of the mounting plate. But regardless, I got it in there, and I took 2 of my little switches out because I don't need them, and I might use them for another project. And right here you see the hole. It's not touching the control panel, and it's nice, much nicer. It's more nicer than the other one. So anyway, I'm gonna get these this wire harness put back together and everything, and then we'll do some gameplay video. Yeah, so got everything put back in place. The wire harness is all assembled. My little Suzo Hap arcade button with the zippy switch. It's really nice, and the stock player 1, player 2 select, and the speaker, which is pretty nice, I think. So I'm gonna plug this back up and see how it does. Peace. Got the cover back on. Gonna connect the ribbon cable into the slot like so, and flip this bad boy over. Slide it into place, put my 4 screws back, and we are good to go. See what happens when you rush things. I gotta take this all apart, put my little buttons back in later. Put that crap back in there. Now, yeah, that looks better. Okay guys, no more fooling around. Let's get started, shall we? 3, 2, 1. Boom! What the? Really? Excuse me just a minute. Alright guys, no more horsing around, for reals this time. My Infinite Wisdom had the joystick mounted backwards, but it should be all good. So let's get started. Boosh! I love that intro. It's just awesome. Alright. For the high score, folks. Oh crap, my mom's home. What? Come on, I'm playing.
No, Mama don't got time to vote because she has to be somewhere at 3. She has to be somewhere at 3:30.
Alright.
So you need to go. I got your mama's prayer. I got your prayer.
Looks like I'm gonna have to cut this off, folks. You do realize I'm shooting a video right now.
Sorry.
Double ship. And the bonus stage.
Sorry. That's it. Oh, and there's something that I can see. This is what I want to show you.
Yeah.
That is heavy. So I need your keys to get in the car, please. Where are your keys?
I don't know. I'll get them.
Because I need to get my stuff out of your room.
Perfect score.
Please. Please.
Alright. Alright.
Please. Please, please.
Wrap this up later.
Please. Please. Because I ain't get her stuff.
Okay, so just saw some footage of Galaga in action, and I was on a real roll for that game. Now I'm going to show you some Galaxian. Wait for it. Wait for it. Boom. There we go. The Galaxian ROM on this arcade cabinet is really tough. I'm not really sure why, but people said if it's harder than the arcade. I've never actually played Galaxian in the original arcade. I played it on the NES, so there's a little sampling of gameplay. And we'll hit start. And these little whippersnappers, when they come down with a vengeance. These bullets fail. First round at least. really difficult to aim when they're sweeping back and forth sideways, and when you're underneath them, you're basically sitting ducks because the bullets are just relentless. And like I said, I've never played the original in the arcade, but I do have a lot of nostalgia for the Mrs. Pac-Man Galaga combo units. And so when I saw this one-up arcade machine in Walmart, it was just a impulse buy. And they also have a Pac-Man machine, but unfortunately I can't buy any more of them. I'd have nowhere to put them. See, I'm gonna show you some couple of Easter eggs in Galaga. And you notice my high score on the top is 23,560. That was actually, I actually scored 100,000 points. And that is my top score of all time. And in a little bit, we'll see that in the credits. And some little overgrown kid put some dirty words in the initial score, but we won't go there. So during the intro, there's a small window of time where you can gain control of the ship and control it during the screen. I've never tried this on the actual, yeah, it just froze up. I've never tried this on the actual Miss Pac-Man Galaga arcade game, but I've heard that it works. Be forewarned, sometimes you can crash the game. But it's a fun little game that I try to play every now and then during the attract mode to try and see if I can clear off all the enemies. You see right here, it's just sitting there and it's looping on forever with no ship on the screen, so I'm going to have to reset the game. Oh, never mind. Push start button. And so run through that one more time. And post my high score screen for bragging rights. And there you can see where the in the attract mode it captures the ship and subsequently gets blown to smithereens. Yeah, there we go. And the high score initial board. I noticed the 100,000 points. But when you look at the top, the high score is only 23,000. It saves the 6 digit in the actual high score board, but not in the... it actually saves the 6 digit in the initials, but not on the top score once the game is reset, which I find kind of interesting. And that is accurate to the original arcade game. But anyway, this is Cosmic Stardust signing off. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed my videos, and hopefully I'll have some more later. There's a new Galaga machine out by Basic Fun, which is actually pretty tough. I can't get near as far on it as I do with the original. Hold on just one moment. But you can see it right here, and it's a programmed game similar to the Tiny Arcade, but this port, even though the difficulty is pretty significant, is actually a better port than the other one. Let me see if I can do this real quick. Alright. One weird thing about this one is the enemies will shoot diagonal. But yeah, I'm a sucker for these things. Come on, focus, damn it. Anyway, sometimes they can shoot, the bullets will actually fire diagonal, which is not arcade accurate. But anyway, I'm a total sucker for these little things like Big Papa, little guy. So thanks for watching, and this will be it. Signing off. Bye.